Hi, I'm Stunning Stella Cheeks.
And I'm the Enigma Erin Klein.
And this is Not Your Demographic, a feminist wrestling podcast.
Shockingly, those exist. Throwback!
They just heard two clinks back to back.
One of them was real.
Well, the other one was real.
I mean,
just happened a long time ago.
Yeah, it's a weird time capsule clink.
Welcome to the podcast, Demi.
Hey, everybody.
I want to say this up top because we keep forgetting this. We have a fucking Patreon.
Yeah, we always forget to talk about it until we're like, hey, we've been talking for an hour.
If you like our podcast and you'd like to support us, you could go to patreon.com/notyourdemopod. We release extra episodes and there's goodies and what have you. We just released a progress episode. We're doing every Mania ever. If you like that from last week when we went to Fozzy, so we didn't talk about things. Yeah, I think the minimum pledge to get the first podcast, which is the Mania one, is like $5 a month. But if you have $1 is amazing.
Oh yeah. Every time we get a notification that someone's giving us $1, I'm like, thank you.
Thank you.
That you can only give $1, and that's okay. Because
you're still willing to give $1.
Exactly. I give $1 to a bunch of people because I'm like, I just want you to be supported. Like, I just want to give you like the literal bare minimum so that you can see someone's like, I like what you're doing.
Yeah.
So yes, please go check out our Patreon. We have a bunch of good stuff up.
Also, we have an official podcast Twitter. So if you want to follow Not Your Demo Pod on Twitter, do that. Because it's official or whatever.
Yeah, we actually have one. We're figuring it out.
Figuring it all out. It's like 2.5 years in and we're just figuring it out.
Right? We have this extensive back catalog that now we can be like, well, I guess we'll figure it out.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm inching closer and closer to my honeymoon. It's like the only thing I can think about. We're very busy at work right now, and as I may have mentioned a million times, I'm the only person trained on my job, so I have no backup to help with anything that's going on, basically. And also, everyone that I was supposed to train to take over for me when I'm on my honeymoon is gone. None of those people are there. They've all either quit or moved into new positions. And so no one is trained how to do my job. And yesterday I overheard my bosses like, okay, well, we've got these people being trained on this and we're bringing in new people to train on D for this. So we can handle the volume and then we'll have this. I think we're in a really good place and I just don't want to be blindsided by anything. And I'm sitting there like, hi, still haven't trained anybody. I leave in 3 weeks. You guys are super fucked at this point. Like, I don't have time to train anyone because I'm busy all the time. And also, like, ideally, I should train someone and then have a week where I can, like, monitor and make sure they're doing things right. Because, again, I'm the only one trained on my job. I have been for, like, 2 years now.
So you're just gonna go on your honeymoon and come back and, like, demand a raise?
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna come back and be like, yeah, we gotta make some changes. I need way more money. Did you notice how shitty everything was when I wasn't here? So I've been, like, kind of basking in that a little bit. Like, you know, there's those jobs where you're just constantly worried you're going to be fired all the time just because it's like a shitty company or like places just do that sometimes. Mm-hmm. I like do not worry even for a moment that I will be fired. I went an hour late today. Straight up a whole hour late. I emailed my boss and was like, hey, I'm going to stay late anyway. I'm just going to come in late. She was like, okay, cool, whatever. Nobody cares. Nobody gives a fuck. It's so weird. It's a very bizarre experience. So yeah, I'm just like inching closer and closer to my honeymoon. I'm down to like minutia now. I just have to get like outlet converters and new insoles for my shoes and
shit like that.
Shit, yeah. Like everything I want to do, I already have planned out, and so I'm just like, I just basically have to pack my suitcase and like stock up to pack my suitcase, which is a pain in the ass. But we also have the Plan 9 show this weekend. I'm very excited about it.
Yeah, you get to do real acting.
I know. I texted Michael and I was like, so listen, you're coming to this show. You've never seen me act. I know you're not like a burlesque person and that's fine. I don't force you to come to it ever, but you're coming to this. Like, you're for sure going to come to this. Andrew is coming. He's bringing a friend of his. Yeah.
Good, I'm glad.
Yeah.
Bring everybody.
Yeah.
I spent a ridiculous amount on props for like 30-second bits.
They're good fucking bits,
They're funny bits and they're worth the props, but I bought a shower curtain, I bought a giant blue dick, I sourced a tricycle, a full Freddy Krueger outfit.
I'm so excited about that one.
Like, I bought some crazy ass wigs.
Oh, God. Yes, you did.
So I'm just saying, I spent a lot of money on props, and I would like to get that money back.
If you're in Chicago, come see Plan 9's Convergence.
It's on Friday, April 6th at 7:30, and Saturday, April 7th at 7 at Uptown Underground. You can find it at uptownunderground.net/plan-9.
All right. Yeah, come see it.
It's not like I've been posting that everywhere, every minute of every day.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you'll get to see me do acting, but the real reason is there's going to be a bunch of really awesome burlesque numbers. Like, that's...
I mean, I think the sketches are the better part of this show.
Yeah!
The sketches are funny. And the finale with the kick line and the song.
It's so good.
It's so good.
It's so good. I'm excited about that
monologue.
monologue.
These motherfuckers to not mess up the kick line.
I will do my part perfectly for the kick line.
Yeah, I have faith in that.
So yeah, things are good. It's busy, very busy. Much like you are very busy. How are you?
I don't know if you can see the giant bags under my eyes and the like... You can't see the weird pimple I have on my butt.
I mean, I will on Friday.
That's true. Well, I will cover it. I'm like, my body is like shutting down from the amount of like the lack of sleep, the poor nutrition, and the insane amounts of stress I'm dealing with right now. Mm-hmm. That's why I have a butt pimple.
Mm-hmm. You're manifesting that stress right in your butt.
This is like in high school when you're like, it's picture day and you wake up and you have a big zits. Like, I have a big show coming up that I've been busting my ass on. I have a big pimple on my butt. Come see my butt pimple. For $20, you can see my butt pimple.
Oh my God. Oh, also, while I'm on my honeymoon, we're going to have a guest host who's going to come in and talk with Stella.
Who you can also see at the Plan 9
exactly.
show. Come to the Plan 9 show.
He's a big part of the Plan 9 show.
Yeah.
So it's...
Bobby Hoffman, he's been on our show before. He co-hosts the Getting Slutty podcast, which is about sex and polyamory and blah, 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 you know, Erin stuff.
Yeah.
But
so he's a good fill-in.
Yes, but yeah, I didn't even think about that. But he is... very interesting. He took me to my first indie wrestling show. He took Erin to her first indie wrestling show. Mm-hmm. We're probably going to do a segment where we talk about Josie wrestling because he's really into that. So it should be fun. And he will be your co-host for a whole month. So
yep.
Get used to Bobby.
Yeah. First, come see him do some jokes.
So many jokes.
So many jokes. We're both pointing a lot and no one can see it.
It's just that WrestleMania fever. You got to point at everything.
You're absolutely right.
What wrestling merch are you wearing?
I am wearing my Kimberly baseball bats wrapped in barbed wire hat. Literally only because I saw Blockers last night with Ben and we were talking about how much we miss Kimberly and are so excited to see her at Shimmer. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to wear this today.
Is he going?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Saturday or Sunday?
I think he's going to be out of town. And then he's coming back on Saturday, so he was like, I haven't bought my ticket, I'm just going to get a general admission one. Like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. I
have obviously our Rise tickets, and then I finally bought my Shimmer ticket for Sunday, so I'll be there Sunday.
Yep, I will be there every day of that weekend.
I was planning to do the whole weekend, but then I got booked to work and, you know, money, because I bought a $50 giant blue dildo, so, you know.
For the Plan 9 show.
For the Plan 9 show, but, like, it still comes out of my pocket if we don't make it back, so I gotta work. Gotta cover my... giant blue dildo budget.
Hilarious. It is a great giant blue dick. Like, I must say.
It's like intimidating. I don't know. I mean, if you buy it to use it, that's impressive.
I agree. I've had sex with dicks that size. It's not like easy.
And you're like opting to do this.
And
but it does have that suction.
I was going to say it's a suction one, too. I feel like you put it on the wall, you can, like, ease yourself back onto it. It's a little easier that way.
That's a good point. It really sucks. Like, this happened when everybody was gone. It was me and Taryn. I was stuck to the table, and I was cleaning up, and I grabbed it to put it away, and I literally got yoinked back to the table. Because it was suctioned to the table so hard that I literally was like, ah!
It's so hefty that it needs, like, a really good suction. Otherwise, it's just going to fly off the wall.
not local, there will be photos.
Yes. Oh, goodness. What wrestling merch are you wearing?
I'm wearing my Sienna School of Savagery hoodie because I'm stressed and it's like a weird comfort blanket for me.
You wear it all the time.
It's like this is like the Sasha sweatpants. These are weird comfort blankets for me and I just need to wear them when I'm stressed.
It's such a good sweatshirt, too.
It also is great and everyone should support Sienna. If you're in New Orleans, you should go to the Impact Knockouts balcony party that they're having.
Yeah.
Because the Knockouts are amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I love them so much. TNA has been hit or miss, but the EC3 farewell stuff was so good. They had such a good sense of humor about it. He did, the production did. It was so funny. The Taya Rosemary stuff has been really good. Su Young is there now. It's not totally reading for me yet, but it is interesting. So it's Su Young and Allie, who is the champion, kind of facing off. Hopefully in the next round of taping, Sienna will at least be there, because she's recovering. But per usual, the Knockouts are driving it for me. So there's some other good stuff going on, TNA apologist. Speaking of TNA Impact, I will be covering Impact this week for Cage Side because I have a rehearsal that night, but I'm going to come home and watch it and write it. So mine will be up a little bit later than Kyle's is normally, but if you want to know my thoughts about Impact Wrestling, you can go to Cage Side Seats on Friday and read all about it. Also, if you want to know our NXT TakeOver thoughts, you can find our predictions for that on Cage Side Seats on Saturday morning or Friday. I don't know, whatever Sean posted. So we're not going to really be talking about TakeOver or TNA because our thoughts will be elsewhere on the internet.
Yeah, you can go elsewhere to get them. And then also this episode won't be 4 hours long.
Yeah, we're trying to respect everybody's time management for WrestleMania weekend.
Right? We understand. This is very busy.
But yeah, so you'll be able to, but any hot take, quick thoughts about NXT? I think it's been really good lately.
Yeah, I've been really enjoying it. And
also, EC motherfucking 3.
And also, fucking Ricochet is there.
Yeah, but EC3.
Just an array of good-looking men have just showed up, and I'm like,
that back and forth between EC3 and William Regal was so good. Also because you could tell how just delighted William Regal was.
Oh, absolutely! I love seeing him around these guys who he clearly he respects them so much because he loves wrestling.
Is William Regal in the Hall of Fame?
No, I don't think so.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, I guess he could be inducted as a wrestler at this point because he's retired, but the idea is usually that you don't induct people until they're, fully finished.
Yeah. That's fair. But also, he totally deserves it.
Oh, yeah. He's 1,000% gonna be in the Hall of Fame. The moment he dies, he'll be in the Hall of Fame, basically, I think is what's gonna happen.
Or retires.
No, I think that he's gonna work there until he dies.
When Rico's this is how it ends.
Yeah, it's straight up the wrestler style. He's this is where I
die.
But
in the GM office.
Exactly. He just dramatically falls over the desk and it's it's the end.
It's the end.
And then immediately, Hall of Fame. Although I do want to hear him give an acceptance speech. So.
I love him. As somebody who... I don't really remember him that much from when I watched, and I think a lot when he was there is when I wasn't watching. But everything that I have watched, and then just his subtlety in doing these promos, and he's just such a fucking good general manager, and he's just the tits. William Regal, the tits.
Yes, hard agree. I'm a hard agree. British tits. He is the British tits.
He is the British tits.
He's so good. Yeah.
Also, thank fucking Christ we have another belt.
Yes, thank God. I like it. I think it's fucking cool. I think
it's appropriately gaudy for a North American title.
Yeah, I agree. And I like too that the plate is really cool and it looks very different than any of the other belts that they have, which is good. And I like that it's red. I don't know why they picked that color, but I like it because it does look very different than every other belt. And I like that it feels like they're moving into making the UK division a permanent part of NXT, which they should.
Agreed.
they teased this show of this idea of them having their own show. Now if you can have a North American belt and a UK belt, that just seems ripe with possibilities. I think and that way they have actually 3 belts in that division, and then they could add another women's belt.
And the tag and the women's belt, yeah.
It just feels like they're slowly adding more and more belts so that they can make it its own.
The amount of wrestlers they're bringing in, both on the main roster and in NXT,
They just need belts.
I know everybody have, like, arguments that they're, like, too many belts, but, like, they have a billion wrestlers.
Yeah, they have a billion wrestlers. They have so much TV time. Like, so much TV time. They have to fill it with something. And just seeing the same fucking grudge matches over and over and over gets super old. Literally just throwing a belt into the middle of that shit does make it matter.
Yeah.
Even to have, like, two guys are doing really well. One of them decides he wants to wrestle for the North American belt. The other dude's like, okay, cool, I'm gonna go try to be the NXT champion. Like, I like that it just creates way more split. And, like,
for sure.
And if the UK belt is permanent, then it's like, that's even more. You can throw all of that. That's why, like, the main title on the main roster, the Intercontinental and the US belt work so well together when everybody works together and it's not a split brand. Like, you just need that, which is why the women need more belts. Desperately need more belts. That's why their stories get stale so fast, because they only have one belt on every single brand. Like, there's just not enough to do with them. And the idea, like, I hear so many people who are like, what are they going to do with all these women that they hired from Mae Young? Why would they ever hire this many women? Like, because they need more belts. They need to provide belts for all these fucking people. So I like it. I think it's a really good, like, step in the right direction.
We skipped ahead a little bit just because we were talking about that, but I do want to circle back around and talk about our Fozzy experience.
Oh, yeah.
How did you enjoy it? Yeah, it was really fun.
Super fun. I would absolutely go see them in concert again.
But I would show up late to skip the 3 opening bands.
Although the first opener was the best band of the night.
I would
agree.
Not even gonna lie. Well, the third one was like, is a kind of famous band, I guess, called Through Fire. I don't know. The second one was like some weird Orange County bros.
It was so weird.
And then the first one was fine. Like dad rock, but the like guy who was the lead singer could like fully hit those like high rock notes. So like, or whatever. Like,
he was getting it.
He was getting it.
It was like fun to watch all of those guys too. I really liked it. The lead guitarist for that band used to be in Disturbed.
The
bassist was in Disturbed, yeah.
So legitimate.
Yeah, they were like legit. It was fun. And like, Fozzy's fine. Like,
Fozzy's, but they're this like weird thing where they are better live than like listening to their music or watching their music videos. Because I was like prepared for it to be trash, and it was really fun.
Yeah,
and
I still had fun. Absolutely,
it was better live.
Yeah, it's very like dad rock. It's
for sure.
It's definitely not the most metal shit, obviously, even though they like tour and have this like metal tour with people who are very much more metal than they are. But I like it because like Chris Jericho's just a good showman and he's having so much fun. It was just, you could just beaming with joy.
We went with a friend, Liz, who is not a wrestling person. It's so funny. One of the like managers for one of the other bands was talking to her and he asked, "Hey, are you here to see Chris Jericho?" And she goes, "What's a Jericho?" That's perspective of how little she knows. We just go to concerts together. And so like she came to this one. And she even said, she was like, he looks like he's having so much fun. I don't think I've ever seen anybody have this much fun. And
Absolutely.
I was like, yeah, that's why he does this. Like Chris Jericho doesn't need to do this or organize these tours or do any of this stuff. He clearly does it because he loves it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's hilarious and awesome that he's like, no, I don't want to do WrestleMania. I'm going to be on tour with my band. Hello.
Hello.
And now having like seen him in person, it's like, yeah, I can totally see why that's what you do. Also, we heard this like towards the beginning of the concert too. They changed their opener like 4 days.
They had 4 openers.
Okay. Yeah.
And then we only saw 3 because the rumor is that the 4th one trashed Chris Jericho's bus.
Which, like, what are you doing?
That's what this manager of this other band told us. I don't know. Who knows?
I mean,
he was trying to hook up with Liz.
Duh. Obviously. Liz only wanted to talk to Jimmy Jacobs' friend because she didn't know who Jimmy Jacobs was. It was like, let me talk about your dog.
So it's in the dead time. I don't know. It was before Fozzy went on, but like later in the night. And this guy and his friend who has like this little chihuahua in like a Bjorn.
Yeah, basically.
And Erin goes, "Man, that guy really looks like Jimmy Jacobs." And I look at him and I was like, Erin, that is Jimmy Jacobs.
Yep, definitely was Jimmy Jacobs.
Full stop. That's Jimmy Jacobs.
Yeah, standing fucking right next to us.
He stood like next to us, but slightly in front of us. So we had this beautiful pleasure of watching all these people walk by and do comedic double takes.
Just the hardest double takes I've ever seen people do.
So funny.
It was hilarious. And it was kind of nice too to watch people be like, I'm just gonna keep going. Like, almost no one stopped him. It seemed like everyone was like...
Liz was the one that cornered him because she wanted to talk to his friend and her dog.
She didn't give a fuck about him. I think that
She wanted to tell him that she really liked his jacket.
Which was very nice.
And then she wanted to talk to his friend with the dog.
Yeah, it was funny to watch her talk to them because... watching him, it was like, oh, I can like relax and you don't care who I am. It was like kind of nice to watch that. It was like, that is kind of like a nice conversational gift to give someone who has to deal with fans all the time.
But she was also like a weird fan blocker because she was talking to his friend, but it looked like she was talking to Jimmy Jacobs, and all these people who tried to come up to talk to him just like waited and then left.
Yeah.
So she like cock blocked a bunch of his fans.
Yeah, which is awesome. Good for, like, I'm glad he got to have a good concert experience because Liz literally didn't know who he was. Yeah, he was like standing on one side of us. Liz and I got into a heated debate about an unpopular opinion of hers. And by unpopular, I mean wrong.
Well, we started, I was like, I have an unpopular opinion. I don't like peanut butter. And Liz was like, I don't believe in the minimum wage. And I was like, no. And then Erin was like, I cannot sit here.
Nope. I yelled at her for like 30 minutes, a super long time. And when I was like we were like watching Jimmy Jacobs, all these people recognize him in our hilarious comedic pocket. And then she said this, and so I just immediately was like, I don't give a fuck about Jimmy Jacobs anymore. I'm gonna yell at you about minimum wage. And so we're yelling, I'm like yelling. We're having a spirited discussion. We did end in like a really good place. I feel like she learned something, which was nice. At the end of it, I was like, okay, I think you just don't know some of this stuff and you just need to know it. And so it was like nice once we got to the end of it. But then she went to get me a beer. She was like, it ended with her buying me a beer. So I feel like it ended in a good place. And so she walks away and then I look over and Jimmy Jacobs is just looking at us like he's just been watching me yell at her about minimum wage. And because he was on one side of us and then moved to go do something and then was on the other side where she like cock-blocked all of his fans. And so then when she walked away, I was like, oh God, you've just been watching me yell at her for a minute, like a while.
Well, she was wrong.
She was wrong. And I was like, you need to learn.
You need to learn. This is the same friend that I pestered her for literal years about why it's important to vote. She votes now.
Thank God. So. Thank God. Just takes persistence.
Some people just need to be yelled at.
I don't think that everyone should be obligated to fight with people who you're never going to change their minds, but you can kind of tell. Like, you can kind of tell someone is open to learning. Like, that, if there's somebody who's like, nah, MAGA forever, I got the hats and the guns, come for me, bro. Obviously, don't try to engage with those people. They're fucking troll terrorists who don't do that. But people in your normal life who, like, just need to be challenged. Sometimes they just need to be challenged. Yeah. Like, that's the white people thing. If you're around the white people and you're a white people, you need to un-white people their views sometimes. It's important.
Speaking of white people.
They're everywhere.
Liz and Maurice had their baby.
Yes!
Monroe Sky.
How do you feel about the name?
It's very porny, but still it's cute.
It's very porny. It's very porny.
It's less porny when you say Monroe Sky Mizanin.
Even Monroe Mizanin is... I like that. And who really goes by their middle name?
Yeah.
Like, her name is gonna be Monroe. And I kind of like that. I like that it's non-traditional, but it's not super weird.
Right.
I like it. I think it'll be fine.
I think it's cute.
It's not Branch or Birdie. Birdie's a fine name. It's better than Branch.
Yeah, it's better than Branch.
God, I wish they had named their child Branch.
A Birdie's only weird because they have a brand called Birdie Bee.
Yeah. Well,
No, they named the brand before she was pregnant.
Oh. Yeah, that is
You
weird.
didn't know that?
No, I thought that they, like, occurred sort of
This happens in the Total Divas timeline.
Ugh, weird.
Also, today, Maria and Mike had their baby.
Yes, they did.
Freddie Moon?
Yeah. Frederica Moon, so Freddie Moon. I like that.
I don't like Frederica.
I mean, if they're just gonna call her Freddie.
Yeah, I guess it's more...
His
that's
name
true.
is Michael.
Because
people call him Mike.
You shouldn't ever name somebody a nickname. You should give them the full name and then just call them the nickname.
I'm very torn about this. I'm just gonna give everyone my male baby name because I don't give a fuck because it's a great name. When we have a kid, we're gonna name him. His first name is gonna be Gene.
If you have a boy.
if we have a boy, Michael wants to name him Eugene because that's
Gene is a name, isn't it?
No, it's not. Eugene. Oh. Gene is just a nickname. Gene with a J is a name. Gene is a shortening of Eugene. And Eugene is a terrible name. And so I'm really trying to convince him, like, no, we should just name him Gene. So I think that there are times where that's okay. Also, like, if you're gonna name a boy John but only call him Jack, just name him Jack. Like, well, that shit makes no sense to me.
I just know of somebody who had a kid and they named him Sammy instead of Samuel. So he's gonna be a 40-year-old named Sammy. So I guess it's contextual.
Yeah, I think it depends on, like, you can name someone Sam and that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sam is a fine one.
Sammy.
But like a little boy name, yeah, don't.
Not great. What's your girl name?
I don't know. Is that a little boy name? I know a dog's named Joey.
Yeah, but most of them are named like Joe.
Yeah, I know, but Joseph. I'm saying if you named somebody Joey, would that break the rule of naming him?
Yeah, I don't know. I still feel like you should name him like Joe or Joseph.
Yeah.
What's your girl name?
Our girl name is Audrey K.
That's a white people name.
It is a white people name. K was his grandma's name.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm. If the full name for our boy, if we have a boy, is Gene Armstrong Fagenklein. So 1 first name and 3 last names. It's the first and last men to walk on the moon. That's why it's Gene Armstrong.
Dumb.
Also very white.
But you're only having 1 kid, probably.
Mm-hmm. That's the plan. So one or the other.
One or the other.
We'll figure it out. It'll be my fucking
luck. Oh my God, when are you guys going to have kids? Now we're talking about kids.
In like 3 years.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I have 2 more years on my IUD, and then we'll have a year of other birth control, and if I get pregnant, then I'll stay pregnant, because by then, like, what's the point? Of course, I'll just keep it. But, like, we're gonna start trying in, like, 3 years.
Get pregnant, stay pregnant.
The only time I've ever had that view, I think. It's a hard turnaround for me, people.
I really love the name Eliza, but I have a feeling that everyone's gonna name their kid Eliza because that fucking musical, Hamilton. Because there's that line where it's like,
yeah.
Eliza, or whatever.
Oh, yeah. That's true. By the time you have a kid,
but like Liza is also just a cute name.
Liza, also a nickname though. Would you?
I know,
and I like that name. Liza's a good name.
It's Liza with a Z, not Lisa with an S, because Lisa with an S goes snuzz. That's a Liza Minnelli song. Oh, you thought I stopped at Bette Midler? No. I'm a full 52-year-old gay man. Thank you so much.
That is the truest statement. When are you getting your Liza tattoo?
No, I'm not going to get a Liza tattoo because then I would have to get a Cher tattoo and a Barbara tattoo and like a Dolly tattoo. Like I can't. We're going to stay with Bette because Bette is my queen.
Yeah. All right. That makes sense.
The trailer for Mamma Mia 2 came on the other day when we were watching TV, and I like made Nick like stop doing everything. I was like, Cher.
I am so excited that Cher. I didn't know, and then the trailer came on, and I was like, oh my God. What? I'm so excited. I love that trash movie.
It's great.
It's so good. It's so good. Even Pierce Brosnan's terrible non-singing.
I
still love it. Because you know what? He reminds me of, oh my God, from My Fair Lady.
Yeah. Rex.
Yes. Rex Harrison.
Rex fuck is it? What's his fuck?
Yeah, Rex fucks his fuck. Because all he does is talk sing. He's also a terrible singer.
Also, Pierce Brosnan is so hot. It doesn't matter. He's like so hot.
He is very attractive.
So like, do what he will.
Yeah. Do your terrible singing. I'm here.
All right, let's talk about WrestleMania.
Okay.
First things first. Are you hyped for WrestleMania?
I am hyped for WrestleMania. I was surprised by how hype I am, actually.
Oh.
Not hype.
Not hype.
There's a bunch of stuff I'm really looking forward to.
Maybe I will be hype at the end of this. But
yeah.
Right now, I'm not hype.
Once I started looking at more of the match card, I was like, actually, I'm into a lot of this.
It's weird because I'm like into individual matches, but I'm like not hyped for Mania. It's weird.
Yeah, that is kind of weird.
Maybe it's just because this whole weekend is going to kill me.
I also feel like, yeah, you're very stressed out.
Let's talk about Mania, baby. Let's talk about you.
Really fit that one in there.
I really did. I'm excellent at podcasting.
Mm-hmm. That's true. You're right.
Let's call this card the first ever WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal. WrestleMania kickoff match.
Yes. It's the 2 Rumbles and the Cruiserweights.
Ooh! Pew, 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 pew. You owe me whatever whatever you said. I forgot.
I don't remember either.
Somebody remind us. Was it just a bottle of wine, maybe?
Maybe. Probably.
A snack? I don't know.
We'll figure it out. Someone will remind us.
Our past bets have been mozzarella sticks, you giving up weed.
Because I knew that I was not going to lose.
I think this was wine. Let's say it's wine.
Okay.
You owe me a bottle of wine, bitch.
All right, I'll bring you out a bottle of wine next time.
No Andres.
That's champagne.
Oh, excuse me. No Andre caliber wine.
All right, okay.
Okay. Do you have any predictions of anybody that's going to show up in this match that's not on the card? And also, who do you think will win? My prediction is that the Iconic Duo is
That's literally what I was going to say. Yep.
Because they've been off NXT for a while. They got brand new boobies. Mm-hmm. It's time for...
It's time for a call-up. Move them on up.
Move them on up.
Yeah, I think that they'll be in it. I don't know. Other NXT people might show up. I guess it really depends on what happens the night before, too.
Well, it's interesting because we just had the Rumble where we had, like, Ember and Kyrie come up. So, like, I could see maybe not having a ton of NXT people. But I think Peyton and Billy... And honestly, if like, Peyton and Billy don't show up, I'm going to freak out. Because, like, what are we doing with Peyton and Billy? They are amazing.
They're so over. I don't understand. Like, just let them live.
They're hot. They're good wrestlers. And they're over. Yeah. What more do you want, WWE?
And they're great at promos. That's the other thing. Like, they're over because they're very good.
They're so funny. I think that... I don't know. I could see it going a couple ways. I could see Becky winning.
I was also thinking Becky.
But I could also see Ruby winning.
That was the other person I was thinking of. That's the two that I was like, I don't know. I can't really pick. But that means, like, then it's a SmackDown person. Because... Asuka was a Raw person, and she won the first Women's Royal Rumble, so, like, this seems like a good, like, nod to SmackDown as well.
Yeah, those would be one of the two as my picks.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal WrestleMania kickoff.
I have no fucking idea. I don't know. Mojo will probably win it for the second year in a row because...
But Gronk is re-signing.
Oh, then yeah, maybe not. I don't know. Who is talented that they want to give a window to? That's usually what this is.
Well, Dolph? He re-signed that contract.
Yeah. I don't know. If a SmackDown woman wins, it'll probably be a Raw guy.
Matt?
I'm into that. I would love it if Matt won, actually.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's say Matt.
I'm going Matt.
Matt Hardy wins the Wonder of the Eighth. I don't remember what he said.
The ginormous Wonder number 8.
Yes, Battle Royal.
Also, he would, like, put the trophy over.
For sure, and nobody has put that trophy over.
Yeah, nobody gives a fuck about it because no one cares.
Can we talk about the women's trophy?
That uterus-looking motherfucking piece of plastic? Ugh! They clearly just ripped Moolah off the top of it and were like, what do we do? And so they just picked the most uterine-looking trophy I've ever seen in my life. Like,
and then put some ribbons on it.
Red ribbons. Red ribbons. Important to note that they were red ribbons.
Yeah. Cedric Alexander versus Mustafa Ali for the WWE Cruiserweight Championship on the kickoff show.
I think Mustafa wins.
Even considering that Buddy Murphy is the number 1 contender?
Yes. I also think... I feel like it's not important who wins this match. The real question is, will both of these guys also quit the company before the next Cruiserweight Championship match at Mania?
I want to say Cedric. I don't know. I want to say Cedric. Cedric wins.
All right, I'm going Mustafa.
All right. This one for the snack. Bet for a snack. I won the bottle. Let's bet for a snack.
All right.
We'll
put a snack on the line.
Raw Women's Champion Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax.
Nia Jax. For sure.
But I don't know. We've thought Alexa would drop this belt a million times, and she never has.
Yeah, that's true.
But this storyline becomes terrible with a capital T.
Yeah,
she can't lose it.
Yeah, she cannot lose.
But they're also in the name of, like, heel heat. Woo, woo, woo. Heel heat.
She's also had this belt forever.
Right.
She's had it for a super long time, so it feels appropriate
and
for her to drop it.
And if Asuka's about to move over to SmackDown, it makes sense to have to rebuild Nia as unstoppable.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
Ah, man. I want Nia to win, and I think it would be the right choice, but I feel like we're going to get dicked over, and I think Alexa's going to win.
Ugh. Yikes. I heard some rumors, no idea where this came from.
So the internet!
This is just an internet thing. But I heard some rumors that Asuka's next feud was going to be Nia Jax, because Nia Jax was going to win the title, and Asuka was going to lose. Which seems really crazy. Weird. Really, really fucking weird. But I, would also be into that? With Nia winning and having them have, an actual feud where Asuka can fucking be pinned. That would be nice. But, it seems so unlikely that Asuka's gonna lose. I can't even imagine that. It's probably just, false shit that they're throwing out there.
Yeah, I don't know. I think sadly, Alexa retains. Is my guess.
I'm going Nia. Moment. It's gotta be Nia.
Cesaro and Sheamus versus Braun Strowman and a partner of his choosing. That segment was funny.
I laughed till I cried because of Braun Strowman. It was so funny.
Corey is terrible in many ways, but his reaction when Braun took the glasses off and he was like, "It's Braun! It's my Braun!" Corey sells that type of stuff very well.
Yes, he does. Absolutely. It was so funny. When he said it first, he's a lot like me, but just a little different. I was like, is he going to bring Lars Sullivan out right now? I will be very upset. But no, it was Brains. Also, I can't believe I didn't think of this very obvious pun. I love it. I thought it was great.
It's funny because I wasn't watching live because I was rehearsing or something. I don't know. So I saw somebody's tweet, I think it was yours, about Braun Strowman, and I was like, what? And then I saw the segment. I was like, oh.
Hilarious.
Well, Braun and whoever he chooses is going to win because
for
Sheamus
sure.
is dying, and also Braun Strowman is going to win. Also, Braun Strowman needs to win something.
He needs to win something. He really needs a belt. Also, it's, I think, a hilarious twist that his first belt is a tag belt. What a weird thing to have done, but I like it.
Do you think it will be Neville?
I kind of do. Who the fuck else is it gonna be?
Hawkins. What's your win-loss streak? Well, it's not great.
He's so adorable. I love him.
He's really taken a shitty thing and run with it. He's like, I'm gonna stay here and get these paychecks until I don't get these paychecks no more.
Absolutely. I've seen photos of him just sitting in the locker room, chilling on his phone, you poor sad man that you don't get to wrestle, but also keep cashing those checks.
Right. I mean, he did just have a kid.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It must suck to travel and not get to work, but I'm sure he does the dark matches. And
mm-hmm.
Do they still do main event?
Yes. They don't do superstars anymore, but I believe they still do main event.
What a waste of everybody's time.
Bailey was on main event a couple months ago and people were freaking out about it.
What a waste of everyone's time.
Right?
But I guess you might as well tape the dark matches.
Yeah, exactly.
United States Champion Randy Orton versus Bobby Roode versus Jinder Mahal versus Rusev.
God, I fucking hope Rusev wins.
Yeah, me too.
He's the only person in this match that I give a fuck about.
I hate Randy Orton and I dislike Jinder Mahal. I do genuinely like Bobby Roode, but Rusev deserves this?
Yes. God, yes. He's so over.
Also, when he had the United States belt, he did a good job.
He was a great champion.
Also, they need to make a stable of him and Aiden and Lana. I don't understand why they don't do that.
I don't know.
I fully don't. They were so good together in Mixed Match Challenge, and having a stable with multiple men and a woman, it works.
Yeah, it does work.
Cue sanity, it works.
I don't know. And they clearly are all there together. It's not like Lana's not there.
Yeah.
Ugh, it's so stupid. Yes, I agree.
Rusev. Intercontinental Champion, The Miz versus Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor.
I'm really excited about this match.
This match will be really good.
I was watching Seth and Finn wrestle, also a fucking great match.
It was a really good match.
I liked, too, that it went over 4 segments, and so it was
a long
It was super fucking long. And at first I was like, this match it's fine. I was like, oh, okay, they're safe wrestling before Mania. And then once it got to segment 3, I was like, oh, this is just a long ass match, and they're doing a fucking awesome job. It was so good. I loved the, like, I'm gonna do the power bomb thing. Oh no, you're not. I'm not gonna do this. I was like, oh yes, that's right. You did actually injure him, and you're also, oh god, I love this. I like that Finn's not the demon. I think it's really, really smart.
I think they may have done away with the demon.
I don't think so. They still sell all of his demon merch. I think Finn said when he came to WWE, because he's done the demon, he did it as Prince Devitt. He was like, I always wanted it to be something that only happened a couple times a year. Yeah. It's supposed to be like absolute last ditch. This is when the demon comes out. And so I listened to an interview with him when he was going into it where he's like, I really hope that WWE understands that if you use it all the time, it's not special anymore and it doesn't matter. And I feel like they finally get it. That it's like, oh, okay, we can't just always call you the demon.
Do you think that he'll be the demon?
I don't think so. I think
I would prefer if he didn't.
I think he's going to get a fun, fancy entrance just as him. I think
Seth should win and that they should go into a feud and then they could bring the demon out for like SummerSlam. Yes,
I think that's exactly what's going to happen.
Because Miz also probably wants some time with his baby.
Yeah, he's going to go on paternity leave.
Also, Miz just being like the heel bad guy and just endlessly taking every moment to put his baby over was adorable.
Yes, I agree.
And also, like when they won the mismatch challenge and he was like, you know, like he just like dropped the whole facade and was like, I had this baby who raised all this money for these dogs that I love. And it was just like, but you're a bad guy.
Mm-hmm. He knows. He's like, I'm going on paternity leave. It's fine. I'll be back in a couple of months.
No, I mean, it was like a genuine sweet thing. Yeah. I enjoyed it.
I like him a lot. I'm glad. Yeah, I feel like they did a really good job of making this match have stakes for everybody. If Miz wins, then he is going to be the longest reigning intercontinental title holder of all time. I think that what will happen is that he is going to lose the belt and he's not going to reach that record, but they'll just start referring to him as the longest title holder of the modern era, because they do that with a lot of people where you get really, really close and they're like,
Carmella is officially the longest holder of a Money in the Bank contract.
Yeah, so I feel like they're doing a good job of like, we're trying to erase the old records, and if we don't get there, it'll just be modern era. Because I feel like so many people hear of the modern era and they're like, oh, okay, the old one must have been vaudeville. It must have been 1927. So they don't think about, like, of the modern era no longer means, like, the 90s and the early 2000s even. And so I think that it's a smart move on their part to start calling things of the modern era, and then that language will just go away and people will just actually exist in those spaces. But he has that on the line, and then if Seth wins, he becomes a grand champion. He's the only person of the Shield who's not a grand champion right now, so he has, like, a special stake in that as well. And Finn was the first ever Universal title holder and has never gotten a chance to challenge for a belt since then. And so he also has this, like, really high stakes.
Yeah, I guess I didn't think about it that way, that this is a match where everyone literally has stakes other than, like, we want the belt.
Right, exactly. There are, like, really big character-defining things that come attached with all of them. And I think they've done a very good job of putting it all together. And honestly, I don't know who's gonna win. I feel like it kind of has to be Finn because he needs it in a way that the other two don't.
Right.
Like, really, really needs it. And it's over.
Well, so, how much longer does Miz have to keep it?
A month.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so it feels like, I just don't see him doing that. Like, this is the time when Maurice needs the most help. Like, she just pushed a whole ass human out. Your body is tired. You just carried it around for almost 10 months. Like, she needs help.
Yeah, and if Finn gets it, and then it sets up for Finn and Seth while Miz is on paternity leave, that makes a lot of sense. Mm-hmm. Finn looks like he has consumption at all times to me. During the Mixed Match Challenge, it was him and Sasha and you know, Bobby and Charlotte have this, like, healthy, quote unquote, but, like, tan to hell. But, like, and then just him next to Bobby, they're both in great shape, but, like, Finn is just, like, when he sweats, he just looks like he's dying of a fever to me. I genuinely like Finn Balor, but I find him vile looking.
That's so weird.
I felt like, name somebody on the roster. I want you to name, like, 5 people, and I will tell you.
Do you think he is more hideous than John Cena? I know he's, like, your standard.
They're just so ugly in different ways. I would rather sleep with Finn than John because I think it would be more enjoyable because he seems like more my type of person, like conversation and hangout wise. But like,
oh, I would absolutely. I love Finn Balor, and it looks like he has a great dick, as we see every fucking week.
Every week.
But I would absolutely pick John Cena, because that dude's a freak, and he knows how to fuck. And I don't trust Finn to know how to fuck.
Nobody, like, called out when John Cena thanked Nikki Bella on TV for the sex.
Well, that's the thing. Yes, I think that they probably did have sex in the morning. I have a feeling what actually happened is she gave him some kind of, like, we're talking about The Undertaker, you can do this, pep talk, and also they had sex.
It definitely straight up sounded like, thanks for this morning.
But it was supposed to do it. I think that's part of it, is that because John is, like, always horny, and that's, like, their thing, is that they're always horny, it was like, LOL, everyone's gonna think this is about the sex that we obviously have. But I think it's also, like, a nice nod to Nikki of, like, I'm here on TV and I'm thinking about you because you complete me in this way. And so it felt a little like...
No, it wasn't inappropriate to me because, like, that's their dynamic and she likes that stuff. And, like, and she talks about shit like that all the time on Total Divas. So, like, I wasn't calling it out on, like,
no, I didn't think that you were. I just thought
it was a funny moment.
Oh, no, like, it was definitely funny. I really enjoyed it. I just think that it's sort of like the same layers of, like, part of the reason that I'm kind of okay with John and Taker fighting this year is because I know it was supposed to be last year, and John turned it down so that he could be in Nikki's retirement match. It's like, it's those, like, levels of knowing, like, John Cena is who he is and has a lot of issues as a person, probably wildly unchecked OCD, but, like, really seems to love her. And,
oh, for sure.
And, like, I think it's really
interesting. I guess I would rather have sex with John Cena than Finn Balor.
Like, I don't trust that Finn knows how to fuck. I really don't. Like, he has a great dick, clearly, but, like, he also looks like he never wants to have human interaction of any kind.
He also just looks like he's dying all the time. Okay, name 2 other people, then we'll move on.
Okay.
This is a fun game. And it can be Brock Lesnar.
Jinder Mahal.
Fuck, these are hard. I would fuck Finn because I would be too distracted by Jinder's back acne because I would want to.
Yes, I agree.
I would want to pop it all.
I agree.
I would be like, turn over. I'd be like, you lay down. I got the tea tree oil. Let's do this.
Yes.
Like, this is my sexual gratification. I'm going to pop all these pimples.
Yes, I agree.
Okay, one more.
Okay, let me think. I'm trying to think of other men on the roster that I'm like, I'm not into this. Randy Orton. Not an attractive man.
I guess I would sleep with Finn. Also because I hate Randy Orton, but also because he, like, vaguely reminds me of my dad. Yeah. So I'm not going to sleep with him.
No, gross. Absolutely not.
I guess I would sleep with Finn in a lot of situations, I guess.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm
saying. But he's not one of my picks.
That's fine. He doesn't have to be.
Looks like he's dying of consumption.
But again.
That's why he has the abs, because he's just sweating all of his fluids out.
Yes, I agree.
SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Usos versus the New Day versus the Bludgeon Brothers.
I don't know. This will be a good match. I'm so torn because I love everyone in this match except Eric Rowan.
I like Luke Harper, but the Bludgeon Brothers gimmick sucks.
It sucks. It really sucks.
What? So, if the Bludgeon Brothers wins the belts, how does that elevate either them or the belts?
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
It elevates them because they have the belts.
They become champions, but it doesn't do anything else.
Well, if they have a banging match, then, like, that will elevate them. If they can, like, hang with the New Day and the Usos, it will elevate them. But honestly, I almost want them to win because what story do we have left to tell with the New Day and the Usos? Fair. There's, like, nothing left to do with them, and I would love to see other people fight. Like, American Alpha 2.0 is great and, like, has really, like, turned it on lately, and they'll never, like, they've made it clear that they're not willing to have those kind of matches with them and the New Day or the Usos, and, like, maybe they're willing to do that with the Bludgeon Brothers.
That's fair.
I don't know what you then do with the Usos or the New Day, but, like, you could find other stuff to do with both of them.
Yeah, I guess the Bludgeon Brothers probably win.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Womp womp. SmackDown Women's Champion, Charlotte Flair versus Asuka.
Asuka.
Yeah, it's gotta be Asuka.
It's gotta be Asuka.
Do you think there's any Carmella shenanigans?
Yes.
Charlotte kicking her briefcase. I was hilarious. Like, more of this, please.
Yes.
This is hilarious.
I loved that. Yes. I think that Carmella tries to cash in and that Asuka pins her. Because then she loses the belt. Charlotte loses the belt. Carmella loses the briefcase, so that's no longer a threat to Asuka, and Asuka's streak doesn't break. And so then they can continue to have Charlotte versus Asuka, where, like, you didn't pin me, you didn't beat me, you just beat this dumb bitch who ran in, like.
Dumb bitch.
And so then Asuka moves to SmackDown permanently, and then they have, like, a longer feud afterwards.
I mean, the little bits we got of them in the Mixed Match Challenge was exciting.
Yes.
Like, this match is gonna be good.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be excellent. The entrances. Oh, the entrances.
The entrances.
How many men dressed in gold are going to carry Charlotte in on a throne this year? Hopefully at least 4.
Hopefully. Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
Bold prediction. Daniel Bryan turns heel, joins Kevin and Sami, and
kills Shane.
And Kevin and Sami win because Daniel Bryan turns on Shane.
And we murder Shane.
Like, Daniel Bryan is hotter than anyone can ever be at this point. Like, what a perfect time to turn him heel.
That's true.
And he already had
the most ultimate babyface run period of all time.
Literally nothing past this can be more babyface. Like, you fought your way out of retirement, for fuck's sake. Like, this is the perfect time to turn heel. And also, Kevin and Sami will protect Daniel Bryan as, like, if they make them a stable, and it's the 3 of them together as heels, they will protect him in a way that other people won't. Like, not to say that other people would not protect Daniel, because obviously they will.
Right.
But, like, those guys love him and will make sure that he's okay as a group. And I think that it would be really smart to put them together.
Do you think Shane jumps off of something?
I feel like
what will there be to jump off of?
Nothing. That's the thing, is I feel like he's gonna take some, like, insane bump on the fucking long-ass ramp or some bullshit. Like, he's gonna find some way to look like he's gonna be dead.
He had a staph infection.
But he had a hernia.
He had a hernia and a staph infection.
And diverticulitis. This man should not be wrestling. Yeah, I hope that they, like, beat the piss out of Shane somewhere and, like, leave him to die, and then Daniel just lies down and takes the pin.
That would be amazing.
I would freak out.
Speaking of men who should not be wrestling, Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey versus Triple H and Stephanie McMahon.
Oh, God. Obviously, Ronda's gonna pin Stephanie, right? Like, how else is this gonna end?
Remember when Stephanie was like, we all know how good of a loser you are, Ronda?
That was pretty great.
That was brilliant.
It was pretty great. I really enjoyed that.
Ronda is getting better.
She still is, as Dio said.
She's still terrible.
She's a charisma vacuum.
Yeah, like, she is. But, like, it's not unbearable.
Yeah, I was able to tune it out without, like, being sucked in by how awful it was. So that's an improvement, for sure. Like, the fact that I can ignore it in the way I ignore many things on WWE programming is, like, a good sign. She was able to deliver her one-liner pretty well. She, like...
she stopped weirdly in the middle.
She tried as hard as she could and did the best job that she's done yet, delivering a one-liner that's been planned for her. That bump through the table was fine. They chose
it looked like Stephanie messed it up, to be fair.
I don't think Ronda jumped high enough, and I don't think Stephanie pushed her down hard enough. So it was like this slow motion of like, oop, you're not high enough. I'm just gonna press you through this table. And it was like the way that they chose to cut the cameras between that two, it just like did not look great.
But she seemed to take the bump well, which is a good sign.
Watching her like writhe with an angry face was really funny. She's not great at selling, but she tried.
She's trying. She might be terrible and not a good person, but she is trying, so I at least, like, I guess give her credit for that.
Yep, that's kind of how I feel. I believe her when she says that she actually gives a fuck.
Yes.
Like, you are not naturally gifted at this, but you clearly love it, which I would rather it be somebody who loves it than someone who really doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah,
like Brock.
That's fair. Like Brock.
Yeah.
AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the WWE Championship. I think AJ retains.
I think it's going to be Shinsuke. They need to do something with Shinsuke in the same way that, like...
You think Vince McMahon is willing to have Shinsuke as the champion and Asuka as the champion?
I don't think Vince McMahon is in charge of SmackDown anymore.
Oh, well then, I don't know.
I think that's the only reason... Like, Triple H, I think, has like control over SmackDown, and yes, he will do that.
Yeah.
He did do that already.
Yeah.
Because that's what we thought too, or at least at the time before Asuka and Shinsuke both won at the same pay-per-view at TakeOver, we said at the same time, like, there's no way that they're gonna have 2 Asian people as their champions, and then did.
It's not necessarily the reason I said it, at least. It's not necessarily because they're Asian, it's because they... Well, even though
Vince is racist, that's why I say it.
But, like, I guess Shinsuke can speak good English. He just has a thick accent. Asuka, so it's
her
just like...
pre-tape stuff is fine, though.
Yeah.
She can do that. Like, her stuff with The Miz has been excellent.
Right.
It's just...
I mean, she speaks in Japanese mostly. In those
but I
promos.
feel like that's part of it, is that, like, watching her scream in Japanese
for sure. I like it. I'm just saying...
But I think that they have that measure now, where they're like...
That's good.
You can do this in these places, and we'll just let you speak Japanese sometimes. Also, like, they did have both Asuka and Shinsuke win the Royal Rumble.
That is true.
It would be awesome to have them both win the Royal Rumble and then both win the belts. Like,
it would be dope.
It makes the Women's Royal Rumble seem legit if Asuka wins, and it makes Shinsuke seem legit that he could win the Royal Rumble, like, on his first attempt, basically. Then win the belt. Like, and they have, like, what do they do with Shinsuke if he loses? He goes into doing fuck all again. If he wins, they have a feud of the rematch with him and AJ, and they're money. Like, they just put on money matches all the time. So, like, why not have them have a feud after this that can lead into the, like, back half after Mania?
That's a good point. Universal Champion Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns motherfucking better win this belt.
Better win this belt.
Never in my life wanted Roman to win a belt more than I do right now. So good job, WWE. You
win
did it.
This belt.
You fucking
Retire
did it.
Brock Lesnar. I never want to see him again.
I will say, credit where credit is due, much in the same way as Ronda. The hardest I've ever seen Brock work was when he took those 5 Superman punches in a row and really sold them, like, clearly gave a fuck. And I have surprisingly high hopes for this match, because it does feel like
when Brock cares, can put on a good match.
Absolutely. And I feel
really
like
can.
The fact that they've built this whole storyline around Brock is a lazy piece of shit, he kind of has to have the best match of his life at this point. Like, he really has to put it out, otherwise it's just, oh yeah, Brock was the champ for a long time and was a lazy piece of shit and then had a shitty match with Roman, and now Roman is the champ. Like, he really does have to turn it up for the first time in, like, a long time, a super long time. It feels like Brock gives a fuck enough right now to put on a good match. So I hope it's somewhere between 9 and 12 minutes long and no longer.
Other hot takes. What is Elias's grand performance?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Do you think it involves some kind of legend pop? Or...
Yes.
Yeah, it has to, right?
Yeah, it's going to be some kind of legend thing. Is he going to bring Hulk Hogan out?
I hope it's just The Rock, and The Rock sets him on fire.
I'm into that. I'm definitely into that, actually.
Cena versus Undertaker is going to happen, but what Taker are we going to get?
Biker Taker.
It has to be, right?
It has to be Biker Taker,
for sure. Biker Taker.
Yep. Kid Rock is being inducted into Hall of Fame. The Kid Rock
thing, he left his jacket in the ring, and also, Cena's doing all these promos like, wear your fucking balls, you're not a man, this, that, and the other thing, and for him to call him out in that way specifically, and have him come out as the American badass.
Exactly. Yep. It really feels like, I mean, we also have the longest ramp of the year. It's the perfect time to have a motorcycle. Like,
it's longer than last year?
I mean, like...
Oh, of the year.
Of the year,
yeah. I was like, how could it be longer?
I mean, it could be. God only knows.
They
love a fucking long ramp. They watched Wrestle Kingdom do it, and they were like, wait, I want a long-ass runway.
A long-ass ramp.
So, yeah, it feels perfect to have, like, a gang of people on motorcycles come down a long-ass ramp. It just seems like the perfect thing for this situation. And then it makes sense that this is his retirement. We got the one last year, now we get the rest of it, now you're totally done. Like, it seems appropriate.
All right, that's it. Any other hot takes?
I don't know.
WrestleMania.
I feel hyped for Mania. I think that it's going to be a good show. There's a lot of stuff I'm excited about. There are few enough matches that I don't care about or think are not going to be great that they'll just be my bathroom breaks. Like,
match of the night. Call it right now. I think it's a tie between Charlotte and Asuka and Shinsuke and AJ.
I agree. I absolutely think you're right.
Tied.
It's gonna be so good. Both of those are gonna be so... I like, too, that, like... I'm excited to see how they stack the card. Like, what order things are gonna be on the main card. Like, are you gonna try to put Charlotte and Asuka at the very beginning and, like, just fucking blow it out?
I think Asuka and Charlotte will be in the middle.
Yeah. Oh, I feel like if there's gonna be a women's match in the last 3, it would be that one, though.
Oh, for sure.
So that also makes me wonder, like, where else they would put them. What do you think's gonna be last? What's the last match?
Roman and Brock.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
Anytime I've thought in the past couple years that it should be something else, it's always just Brock.
I feel like the only other thing that it could be is Cena and Taker.
Yeah, but that's a bad idea. Because that's a fucking wild card. Like, last year, that Taker match was unbearable. And you do not want to end WrestleMania on that note.
Yeah, but do you trust Brock to not have a boring match again?
I think
I do personally right now, but
I think it'll be fine, and I also think Cena and Taker will happen somewhere in the middle, where Cena comes on and is like, "Hi everybody, like, I'm a fan, blah blah blah," something, I don't know. I think Cena and Taker will happen in the middle, and like it will be like it will be, you know, the big a good match to start, and then it'll kind of like, you know, whatever, and then it'll be like Cena Taker in the middle, like bam, and then, you know, not that there's gonna be huge dips, but
I feel like we're probably gonna get Shinsuke AJ and then Taker Cena right afterwards.
I would agree with that.
Because it's enough of a wild card match that, like, if you just keep people up, they'll be so excited for Taker that, like, they'll just stay up through that match.
That's fair. I could see sandwiching that between the Daniel Bryan stuff and Shinsuke and AJ, and like sandwiching it and having like, if this goes sideways hard, we've sandwiched this brilliantly.
Right, exactly.
But who knows? WrestleMania! Points to sign. You can find us on the internet.
Yes!
I'm at Stella_Cheeks.
I'm at EarnGenC.
You can find us on Patreon.
Yes!
At patreon.com/NotYourDemoPod.
There's lots of good stuff.
You can find us on iTunes at Not Your Demographic, where you should rate, review, and subscribe. I have not checked the reviews in a minute. You should continue doing this breakdown.
Okay, great. You can also send us an email at notyourdemo@gmail.com. I think we've gotten some emails. We've been super busy, so we have not been able to get back to people.
Sorry.
We'll get to them eventually, we promise.
Maybe.
Let's see. You can also check out our WordPress.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't done anything with it since my class ended, but you can look.
So it's notyourdemographic.wordpress.com. Yep, you can do all of those things. Again, we have our Twitter pod, Not Your Demo Pod.
You can find us on Kate Side Seats, where you should click around and pay Gino's bills.
Yes.
Also, it's WrestleMania weekend, so they're going to have awesome coverage.
Yeah, so they'll have a bunch of good stuff up there.
You should go on there.
Reminder that if you're in Chicago, you can come see us at Plan 9 on Friday or Saturday of this
Uptown
weekend.
Underground. Yes. UptownUnderground.net/Plan-9.
Yes. Oh, I saw Blockers yesterday. It was shockingly good, and I would recommend that people see it. The script was really smart. It was way smarter than I was expecting. It was very creative. I thought the way they handled, like, sex positivity and, like, the way that you talk to teens and what that means, like, the double standard of being an adult who really wants to have sex and, like, being really afraid of your kids having sex and watching these kids, like, navigate it. And the kids who were in this movie were fucking great. All of them were good.
John Cena was funny?
Yes, his part is huge. He's like a third of the movie. It's very good. And his daughter is Indian, like he's married to an Indian woman and she's like the boss of their family. It's really good. It's just very well written. There's a lesbian character who they treat super respectfully. Like, it talks about the process of like realizing you're a lesbian and what that means in high school. It was just like, it never felt like, oh, she's a joke because she's a lesbian, or like the fat boy wasn't a joke because he was fat. It was because he was wearing a fedora. Like, it was just really smart in ways I wasn't expecting.
Huh.
It made me shriek with laughter a couple times. Like, it was super funny. There's one character who's dating John Cena's daughter, he has a very large man bun, and they call him the chef because he bakes drugs into everything, and he has a bunch of really long monologues where he's like, this is a thing of my creation. It's weed packed in with a Xanax, with a macaroon and strawberry filling, and like all of these things. I was fucking losing it because I know that person. I totally know who that guy is. It was just very well done. So go see Blockers. It's definitely worth seeing.
We're not getting paid by Blockers, but go see Blockers.
It was really good. wrestling content adjacent.
Happy Mania weekend!
Woo! Bow!
I got a rhinestones and panties.
Hell yeah.
We got 2 words for ya.
Free mode!
Best friends.
Free mode!